Okay, so let's go through here and review the items that are on the function check. Make sure that we know what to do, get any of those last minute sort of things back in our brain or clarified if we need to. I am not in my classroom, so I don't have my whole setup, so I've got the book stacked. So if you hear other stuff going on in the background, just sort of ignore it. We're going to do the best that we can here. So a couple of the things we need to be able to do. We need to be able to solve for y. Whether solving for y involves a fraction or not. So let's say we have something like 2x plus 1/3 y equals 7. Okay, oops, let's see if I can get this. Okay, so if we want to solve this for y, x and y are on the same side of the equal sign. So the first thing that we want to do is move our x. Remember, our entire x moves as one large chunk. And whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, we also have to do to the other. So 2x minus 2x, those cancel out. These are not like terms because they don't both have x's on them. So this just turns into a negative 2x plus 7. And over here we are left with 1/3 y. Okay, so we have 1/3 times y, right? There's a division sign in between the 1 and the 3, but there's a multiplication sign in between that 1/3 and the y. So we want to undo multiplication with division. And again, multiplication and division happen throughout the entire problem. So this needs to happen to each piece. So over here, these are going to cancel. Dividing by 1/3, remember, is the exact same thing as multiplying by 3. So we're really distributing a 3 all the way through here. Or in your calculator, you could do -2 divided by 1/3, which will give you a negative 6x. And 7 divided by 1/3, which will give you a positive 21. Okay, if something asks for it to be written in function notation, remember, all we're doing is switching that y to an f of x. And we would be here. Okay, we should be able to plot points in the ordered plane. That's another thing that comes up. The biggest mistake my students make with plotting points is when it is an x or y intercept. So remember, something like 0, 1 says 0 on the x and 1 on the y. So that's when we're going up 1. Whereas something like 2, 0 says to go to 2 on the x and 0 on the y. We should also be able to check and see if something is a solution for an equation. So regardless of what the equation is, we're always checking by plugging in points. So maybe if we have something like 2x plus 3y equals 24, and we want to see if 2, 8 is a solution. And we want to see if 9, 2 is a solution, right? You could have a list. There could be 2 you're checking. There could be 10 you're checking, right? Each one we would check individually. So we would first look at this 2, 8. So this is an ordered pair x, y. So in for the x value, we would be putting in a 2. And in for the y value, we would be putting in an 8. So 2 times 2 is 4. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 4 is 28. And 28 does not equal 24, so this would not be a solution. Okay, if we want to check 9, 2, we would do that exact same idea. So we'll plug 9 in for x. So we'll say 2 times 9. Plus, and then we'll plug in 2 for y, so 3 times 2. 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 2 is 6. 18 plus 6 is 24. 24 does equal 24, so that one would be a solution. Okay, so go through and answer the 5 questions in the functions check. Okay, see how we do. If we're still missing problems and we need additional help, I will work with you individually during a core session.